Philip, can you hear me okay there?
Darren, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can see you. And for the record, does anyone in the world call you Phil, or are you Philip to everybody?
I'm Phil to lots of people. That works just fine.
You never know. I mean, when you also sometimes have to do the middle initial thing, like I can only imagine what John C. Reilly has to go through where he goes like, I'm actually just John Reilly. You don't have
people
to
just call me John. Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, Phil, thank you for taking the time. Not your first film with MJ Bassett. How long was it between Rogue and this, like finding out that you were going to be doing another film?
We were discussing Endangered Species while filming Rogue. There was a world in which actually we were going to go right from Rogue and roll straight into filming Endangered Species on the back of it, but some things happened with the scripts and things happened with finances and got pushed a little bit, and then of course this COVID thing happened, and so everything slowed way down. But we still amazingly were able to make it in Kenya I think it was September, October, which is pretty incredible considering what was going on in the world.
Yeah, I saw the Instagram post of you landing on the runway there.
Yeah, that's right.
Kenya in October. And I didn't realize it was made during COVID. You guys did really great with protocols.
Yeah. I mean, we got in, I think it was the slang was, it was the NBA protocol. So we would quarantine for 3 days, have a COVID test, couldn't talk to anyone, couldn't leave couldn't, like, you got off the plane and these people you worked with for years and it was like, okay, wait. No, we'll hold on for 3 days. And then, thank God everyone was negative. And then we started making the movie. And then we would test, and this is what's happened for the last year. We test every 3 days now.
Got it.
So you make a movie and keep testing.
As somebody who's been taping interviews 5-6 days a week, speaking to a lot of actors, and I say, so what was it like filming the movie in the Middle East? And they go, we didn't film in the Middle East. It was a studio in California, but you actually filmed in Kenya. Was the whole movie done in Kenya?
It was done in Kenya. Sorry, I'm in quarantine in a hotel, and so in Nevis down in the Caribbean, which is great.
Yes.
Okay, it's done. We were in Kenya the whole time. So we landed in Nairobi, quarantined in Nairobi for a few days, and then we headed basically southeast to a place called Amboseli National Park, which is on the southern border. Just unbelievably stunning. It's one of the largest natural elephant reserves in the world. And we lived and worked there for the first couple of weeks, and then we got a little Cessna and we flew up to Shaba, which is that was the post that I did, and we landed up there and we worked for another couple of weeks up there. But I mean, I think we shot the whole movie in something ridiculous, like 18 days or something.
Wow.
So yeah. Was
that the first movie you ever filmed in Africa?
No, I had done Rogue, and I had done Hi, sweetheart. I know the phone was ringing downstairs. I'm just going to finish this interview. Do you want to say hi? Okay. This is what happens in quarantine, right? I love you. I'll see you in a minute.
I'm amazed I've gone it this long without my landline ringing and an Amazon package. So I think we're breaking records here.
That's the first for me. And I was, it was fun to see over the year that happened to like really serious conversations when people were, anyway, where were we? So no. So Rogue, we shot in Johannesburg in South Africa, and then I had done the series Strike Back. That was all in South Africa as well. And then I'd done Robinson Crusoe before that down there. We've done a lot of work in Africa, but this was my first time in Kenya.
I didn't know that was all filmed there because, for example, I live in a beach town on Long Island called Long Beach, and we had Orange is the New Black filmed something there, and I think they said it was Idaho.
Right.
Kevin Bacon filmed his show, and they said it was Miami.
Right.
Another show said it was Massachusetts. So you really, you never know that if you're filming in Kenya, but you're saying it's Massachusetts.
That's right. No, this was legit. This was Kenya for Kenya. It was called Kenya. There was a script it was just called Kenya, but I don't think they thought that was exciting enough. So now it's Endangered Species. But hey, Kenya was it was phenomenal, and it's beautiful and it's rugged. And we lived in this beautiful place near Amboseli National Park, and it was protected with electric fences and gated, and the elephants would come in every day and they would drink this water hole. Just truly mind blowing. And to watch the animals work it out together and take turns at the watering hole. And then you'd come out in the morning with armed security and there'd be a fresh lion kill right outside the gate or something along those lines. So it's really rugged and truly wild out there.
You just answered like 4 questions with that,
Okay.
which is pretty amazing. It's like you've been doing this for a while.
I have a couple times. I've done it a couple times.
Exactly. Leopard skin, though, is another thing that's on your IMDb page. No relation to this movie, which involves animals.
No relation. Yeah, no relation. That was a project that I just did in March this year down in, again, sort of this part of the world in the Dominican Republic. And it's a great 8-part television series. It's a bit of a thriller mystery heist film, and it's broken up into short half-hour chunks. It's absolutely, I think it's going to be absolutely brilliant. I mean, I haven't seen it yet. I know working with everybody on it, we had an absolute ball, and so, but it's quite secret at the moment still too. So we're just kind of letting it roll out as it does. But we had a ball.
Yeah. The almighty waiting for deadline.com to announce it, and then you can talk
about it. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
So the last 4 projects I've mentioned, none of them were filmed in New York or Los Angeles. How long has that been the case for you, where the projects have been outside of the normal, quote unquote, normal cities?
It's funny. They've all actually taken place in the spots. I mean, except for, so we did the Player in Los Angeles. We went to Vegas for one night to do Player. And then after Player was canceled, I went to Chicago Justice, which we shot in Chicago. And then Chicago Justice took us over to Law and Order, and that was in Chelsea in New York City. And then after that, it was, we've done stuff in Africa, South Africa, Kenya, Dominican Republic, nothing pretending to be anything else. So they're all taking place where we're shooting them, and they're staying that way in the film.
Wow. Now, you're originally from Montana. Is that a correct thing online?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So it makes you think in a way that had you started acting a few years later, you may not have had to move to LA or New York to make it. It's possible for all you knew there was going to be a film industry in Montana.
We're really pushing it. I live in Bozeman, grew up in Belgrade, which is about 8 miles outside of Bozeman. And we have a booming industry right now. They're coming there they're shooting in Missoula, which is just down the road. We built this new Western set at the Chico Film Ranch. And it's incredible. I mean, I think they're trying to pass a tax cut that makes it possible to make films in Billings, Montana. And they're going to try and build a studio out there.
Wow. So technically you were in Montana before David Letterman and John Mayer.
That's exactly right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious about that. When did you start to notice that Montana was cool, that you didn't have to leave there, and there was totally life there? It wasn't just laying back and family life, but also work.
Right. That's been very recently, actually. I'm just noticing I have my quarantine bracelets on here. That's just recently. So my wife and I bought a place there back in 2012 after we were doing Strike Back, and we wanted to raise a family there. So we've got our daughters there, and we've been there for, going on 9 years this summer. Certainly over quarantine and over COVID, because we believe that people are individuals, and we believe that people can make their own minds up and stuff like that in Montana. And so COVID was tough, but it wasn't we didn't get hit nearly as hard as everywhere else in the country or the world. And so we opened up a lot sooner. And I think when people saw that, they were like, okay, we're going to Montana. And it's just exploded over the last year. I mean, it's gone, especially Bozeman, the Bozeman area, it's gone absolutely crazy. So we're seeing now the benefits of that, which is, I think, producers, directors, people are coming out there and going, well, this is where people are at. Why can't we make movies here? And it used to be like that. I did my first film back when I was 16 years old. I think Steven Seagal took a film out there to Ennis, Montana, and did a movie out there. They did, was it A River Runs Through It? Mm-hmm. All those, that was made out there. Horse Whisperer was made out there. And so we're starting to see this trend again towards shooting Montana for Montana, whereas a lot of the time producers have gone to Wyoming and Idaho and places like that. But Montana is truly gorgeous. We just haven't had the tax breaks, but now we're getting them, which is great.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Fantastic. Yeah. So the goal is to wake up in my own bed, to hop in my truck and just drive to work in Montana. That's the goal.
It's possible. And is Huey Lewis another Montana-er?
I don't know if Huey Lewis, maybe, yeah, a Montanan, yeah.
I don't know. I'll go on the Wikipedia afterwards and figure that one out.
It's funny who shows up, though. It really is funny, especially Bozeman now, because we have this place called the Yellowstone Club up the road, which is just, it's some big names up there.
And then back to you. I couldn't figure this one out through basic research methods. What kind of music do you listen to? Do you have a favorite band?
It's kind of like film, right? I listen to all sorts of music, and it depends what mood I'm in. Right now, I'm trying to think aside from listening to any soundtrack from any of the films that my daughters have just recently watched. So if you ask me, you asked me this question, like Baby Shark is rattling around in my head constantly because of the girls. The soundtrack to Angry Birds 2 is in there. Every Disney movie and every Winnie the Pooh movie, they're all right there on the surface. So I got to dig through those. And then when I get through those, I'm a big fan of older music. When I'm out like working in the yard, or we're doing some work at the house right now. So when I'm building a deck, I'll listen to like Led Zeppelin, and I listen to The Doors. I listen to CCR and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. I love those guys, man. So and out here now, I'm listening to Jimmy Buffett and Neil Young, because that's what my dad listened to when I was a kid. And I always thought, oh man, but now I'm out here, I'm like, oh, I get it. Okay, I totally get it, Dad. That's good stuff.
Yeah, you do have to hit that age where Jimmy Buffett is not a foul offensive.
Right? And it's totally okay. I'm here, I'm there. My wife is not at all. Not at all. So when Margaritaville comes on, she's out. She's peaced out.
Exactly. Living in a beach town, inevitably, what time of day are you going to hear Margaritaville? I loathe it. I'm more the Alice in Chains guy, the Van Halen guy.
Nice.
But eventually you have to go, okay, fine. It's better than
Jimmy Buffett.
Exactly. Well, 2 quick questions and then you're a free man. And the first one is, besides Endangered Species, do you have a recommendation for a new film or movie? I'm a film or show that we should be checking out?
So I'm late to the Crown world, but my wife and I just started watching that. It truly is a masterpiece. I mean, people told me that, but the performances are just out of this world. And then we also just watched Ted Lasso. Did you watch that?
I've heard that's like 2 series. And when we finish Schitt's Creek, it's going to Ted Lasso.
I mean, it's unbelievably good. And I think, you try and I watch these things and I try and kind of pull them apart a little bit to figure out why. But the fact of the matter is with that show in particular is they just tell the truth. They just tell the truth. They don't pander. They don't lie. The characters tell the truth, or they do the things that we all think we should do. And it's beautiful to watch that, especially nowadays, and the bullshit with politics and everything running on and going on like that. Like, just people telling the truth, and to see the effects of that truth, it's truly beautiful. It's a beautiful show. So I highly recommend that.
Awesome. And the closer, Philip, again, besides, hey, see Endangered Species coming soon. Any last words for the kids?
For the kids watching that. Oh, the kids are going to watch this?
I mean, hey, you've been working a long time. There's got to be some kids in the.
You're right. Don't be like this family. Look, don't be like this family. For goodness sakes, use your words, okay?
There you go. Thank you so much for your time. Looking forward to everything that's coming from you in the near future, man. But you've changed my mind about Montana. I think I'll be going there.
Get over there, brother. Thank you, Darren.
Thanks. Take care.
Paltrocast.